Today on FinShoot, we're going to learn how to use the option volatility surface on Bloomberg. Firstly, to get to the option volatility surface, go to the top left-hand corner and type in option vol. This will bring up OVDV. Click. What you see now is the option volatility surface. There are a number of views you can have this set on. Risk reversal and butterfly view, put and call view, and then you can also change it from bid ask to mids. Most people will have it set on put call and bid ask. This therefore gives you a nice feel for where the at the money is and how wide the price is, thus an indication of liquidity, but also what the theoretical smile might look like. Down the bottom is a quick option pricer where you can put in the tenor, what delta you're looking for, and it will generate quick out. Along the top, you'll see where you can place your currency, what source you use, the vol table. You can also then switch to 3D surface. And I'm going to zoom in on my 3D surface here. And then I can start to maneuver my 3D surface and have a look at where there's general lumpiness in the market and not. I can change the date, and generally 1 year is probably better to look at than anything else. And then I can shift. And what I can see here, reading this, is 5 delta puts, as you would expect, at 1 week are a lot more expensive than 5 delta calls. And that really is just a function of what the market is doing at the moment, with the currency having just suffered a large sell-off. I can then move to term, and this will give me a view of what the term structure of the option is like. Once again, if I jump up to the top and change to 1 year, this will give me more of a feel for what's occurring. And strangely, my short dates between 1 week and 1 month are substantially higher in vol than my 1 year. This tends to only occur when the market is going through a substantial strategic shift in direction. And we will have a look at that in a moment. The next tab is Smile. Clicking on Smile, and I unclick on the left-hand side by expiry, and then I can start to get a picture as to what the volatility smile has done. Looking at the volatility smile, I can see my most recent date being the bright yellow line to my furthest date being the dark yellow line. I can change these dates to any date in the past, and these will give me a feel for what's occurred over the ensuing period. For example, I'm looking at 1 week versus 1 month ago, but I might want to make this versus 2 weeks ago. And you can see that as I've typed that in, my vol has changed. Looking at this left to right, I have at the money in the center and 5 delta put on the far left hand side, 5 delta call on the far right hand side. And what I'm looking for here is not only the absolute shift between 1 month ago and today, or indeed 2 weeks ago and today, but I'm also looking for the steepness of the change. If it's very steep between 5 delta put and 5 delta call, that indicates to me that people are paying a substantial premium to insure against downside risk versus insuring against upside risk. The final point that I can look at here is deposit and forward rates. Clicking on deposit and forward rates, I can see the term structure of the current forward market. And what you can see here is that Aussie is still yielding well above US, and the implied forward rate being the blue line moving left to right downwards. You can also see the raw data that we're using on the left-hand side table. This makes analysis quite easy to do. Although it should be said that the option price is more affected by volatility and the change in spot than it is by the distance to the forward. If I wanted to look at some other surfaces, I could jump in and click on any of the above, being equity, commodity, FX, interest rates, or inflation. I also have a number of settings here. If I jump into my settings, you'll see that I can change my deltas that I want to view, what I open at, and what my expiries are. It might be worth removing 2-year and 18-month just to make life a little bit easier for yourself. Hit update. Going back into settings, I might quickly have a look at conventions, and this starts to give me some custom conventions that I can set up according to how I want to trade. Or I can jump in to calendar, and this will tell me how my volatility surface treats the week. Now I can use VCal in this instance, but I'll go through VCal in another session because VCal allows you to adjust for event risk, and that way the surface will pass through correctly. And what we've covered today has been volatility table, 3D surface, term structure, smile, and depot and forward rates. This has been another video from FinTune.